Hey yo, what's poppin', my fellow music lovers and listeners and all the YouTube family? Welcome back to Multifaceted Media Entertainment. And today we're gonna be reviewing this new album by 21 Pilots, Scaled and Icy. So without further ado, what it do? Let's get it. So first of all, the album title, Scaled and Icy, is supposed to be an abbreviation for Scaled Down and Isolated, and the album kicks off with the song Good Day, which starts up with this instrumental that you might be familiar with. I'm pretty sure it's been used in a number of movie soundtracks before, but I'm not exactly quite remembering right now where that original sample was from. But anyways, the song Good Day is kind of boring, to be honest, which is not the opener I was expecting for this album at all, especially given the enjoyment that I got out of the last opener to their previous project, Trench, which I immediately fell in love with on first listen, and I've loved it even more ever since. But this song is just kind of not doing anything for me at all, and sadly, that's how I feel about most of the songs on this album. Pains me to say that, considering how much I loved Trench and a lot of their previous work. I actually was introduced to 21 Pilots when they released the song All My Friends Are Heathens, Take It Slow, which was released about 5 years ago as a part of the soundtrack for the movie Suicide Squad. Garbage. But yeah, I enjoyed that song quite a bit. It actually is to this day one of my favorite 21 Pilots songs, just because of specific aspects of it that I can relate to personally, and I love the overall sound of that song. But back to this album. So the song Good Day is basically about pretending everything is okay even when your life is falling apart around you, as he sings lost his job, his wife and his child, and his homie just sued him, but it's still a good day. To be honest, the lyrics aren't even where my problems lie with this song at all. I'm just not a big fan of how it sounds overall, and yeah, it just kind of comes off a little bit boring to me, but you know. Let's move on to the next track. So believe it or not, I actually dislike the song Choker now more than I did when I initially heard it. Yeah, so once again, it's just kind of boring, to be honest. There's nothing really interesting happening with the song, sound-wise, and lyrically it's not that bad, but it doesn't do anything enough to save the song in my opinion. So yeah, it's just kind of bland with a bland chorus and a bland instrumental, and yeah, I'm not really feeling that one too much. I'm feeling it less than I was when I initially heard it. In a previous video, I mentioned that I hoped it would grow on me during the track listing of this album, but doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, so the next track, Shy Away, is kind of where the album starts to pick up pace, if I'm to be honest. If you remember, I didn't love this song when I initially heard it, when it just came out, but it has grown on me a lot since then. And considering how kind of mediocre and bland the first two singles that kick this album off have been so far, this is kind of a ray of hope in the track listing here, if we're to be honest. So yeah, but yeah, enjoy the vocal harmonies that are in the background of the chorus on this song quite a bit, and I'm digging the melody of this song a lot more now than I initially did. So yeah, one of my favorite tracks on the album now, which I was hoping I wouldn't have to say. Alright, so the track Outside is the next song on the album, and this one is not too bad. I actually like this one. Especially the instrumental, it just kind of has this bouncy feel to it. Especially during the chorus. Which kind of gives me the vibe of everybody being in a trance. and just moving their head up and down willinglessly. But yeah, it's not a bad song at all. I actually dig this one quite a bit. It's kind of a feel-good, dancey kind of song, so yeah, not bad. So when I heard the song Saturday, about a day before this album's release, that's when I really started to worry about my enjoyment of this album. And yeah, it's just a kind of poppy song that's not really standing out in any particular way. It's just run of the mill and kind of bland. It's kind of boring, to be honest. That's my expression of most of the songs here. You see, I'm not really against 21 Pilots trying to branch out and, dip their toes in a new style. That's not really what they've been known for over these past couple of years. I'm all for artists branching out and trying something new, but when it's delivered in such poor execution, and not only poor execution, but such run-of-the-mill and generic ways, it just fails to leave an impression on me, because it's just what everybody else that has already been in this area and field of music has been doing for forever. So it's not standing out to me in any particular way. I guess that's how I really feel about most of the songs here. So the next song on the track list is Never Take It, and it's not too bad. It's not the worst song on the album by any means, but then again, not the best song they've ever released or anything. But it's quite fine. I especially like the intensity that builds up throughout the song and the level of aggression in his voice when he ends the track. But yeah, it's just a cool song. It's not anything to write home about, in my opinion, but it's not the worst song here. It's kind of a highlight in the dullness of this track listing, so I guess that's a plus. So the next track is Mulberry Street, and I especially like how this song kicks off. It has a nice beat to it, and the vocals in the beginning of the track are pretty nice, actually. Pretty good. I was having a little bit of hope for this song when it started out, but the chorus is just kind of not doing too much for me at all, and I think the song just kind of drags on a little bit too long, in my opinion. But it's not the worst song on this album again. But I loved how it began. I just wish they kept that momentum throughout the entirety of the song, but unfortunately that's not the case. So I'm definitely not gonna go over every song on this album individually, because it's kind of just more of the same. So yeah, the song Formidable is probably the worst song here, in my opinion. It's really dread. It's really boring. I really didn't hope to be harping on this album this much, but it's a disappointment coming off of Trench, to say the least. So yeah, I think 21 Pilots tried to venture out of their comfort zone a bit and make music that they wouldn't normally make, but I think in the end that's what ended up hurting this album the most, because it just sounds very bland and plain, and it doesn't really do much for you. It doesn't hit you in the feels at all. It's just kind of there. It's just kind of existing for the most part. Nothing overly terrible, but just extremely bland and boring. I'm giving this album a 5. But I'm curious to know what you guys thought about the album. I hope you guys enjoyed it more than I did, for the sake of, your enjoyment. But yeah, I guess that's the end of the video, guys. If you liked it, if you agreed with my opinions or disagreed, please leave a comment in the comment section below, letting me know your various thoughts and opinions on this album. Yeah, this has been Multifaceted Media, and I'm out.